The problem of violent juvenile crime is not just one problem. It's a whole set of problems that affect our young people. And it affects all of us, regardless of our age. Young people who break the law, who break it often, are the ones who eventually end up in juvenile hall. And that's where our Cindy Curris is right now. Cindy?
Marianne, this is where kids who commit crime are booked in. Now, most kids will never see the inside of juvenile hall, but sadly enough, too many already have. This place is overcrowded, and some offenders have to actually wait in order to do their sentences. It is just one problem facing our children in a world changed so much since their parents were young.
There's a lot of people that are afraid of their kids.
Actually, some guy came up and offered us drugs, came from behind us and scared us.
So they're faced with being a grown-up too soon, I think.
The morals these days seem less than before, and I think that kids really wouldn't hesitate to use violence.
So take good care of yourself, okay? You're only 16, all right?
The vast majority of kids never get in trouble, but the few who do are becoming increasingly violent. If you think it's not happening, just look around Spokane. Better yet, take a trip to Tacoma's Hilltop. The problem is out of control, a frightening example of what may be to come. In the last 7 years, Hilltop violence has claimed 126 lives, all under 24 years old.
What we've got is a group of kids that are just waiting for something to occur, either a drive-by shooting to occur to them, or for someone else to get into their group and cause a problem.
Sergeant Mark Mann should know. He's watched the Hilltop slip from a neighborhood to a crime-ridden stretch of streets. Drug deals, gang members, just a fact of life.
We used to call them wannabes. We were real proud of that. They're just wannabes. But now we've got a fatal fad. We have got a fatal fad, a lifestyle, a clothing style that's fatal. By morning in Tacoma, it is likely one person has been raped, killed, robbed, or assaulted once every hour and a half. No one would compare Tacoma's crime crisis to Spokane, but what happens here is frightening enough.
I think there's a lot of anger due to a lot of socioeconomic issues.
There's something definitely wrong.
It's pretty safe down here. There's not a lot of violence around.
But it hasn't been safe for some of Spokane's young.
And we found her overdosed in a motel room. She wouldn't tell us her name. She wouldn't tell us anything about her.
Spokane police officer Rick Alvin remembers Rebecca Hedman, murdered last year. She was a lonely 13-year-old addict who sold herself for drug money. Her death hit a nerve that fueled every parent's fear.
You see the potential that they have. And you see what could be or what could have been, and you see that it won't be.
But Rebecca's story is not unique. There are others on the streets, others with no hope.
I've seen people get shot real here by the coach house. I've seen people get stabbed. Like, what's going to happen in the future for us kids that are out here? Our biggest fear? Dying out here.
Piece that Cindy Curris just presented to us was the catalyst, one of the catalysts that we're here tonight, and that was the tragic death of Rebecca Hedman. Many of us found ourselves asking, how could this happen to a 13-year-old in our community? What is wrong with our society, and what are we not doing for our young people? That a young girl that won a terrific kid award in grade school and wanted to be a veterinarian could end up with such a tragic death. Now, in the months since this happened to Rebecca,